Welcome back to Caught on Camera. I'm Contessa Brewer. Picture this, you're on safari. The scenery is stunning. Things are quiet until you stumble upon a heart-stopping battle involving a pride of lions, a herd of Cape buffalo, and one hungry crocodile. Now you'll get to watch some of Africa's most extraordinary animals in a fight for survival. Lions and buffalo and crocodiles. Oh my. Nearly 9 minutes of possibly the most spectacular animal fight ever caught on camera. At the center of the battle royale, a hapless baby buffalo. Who will survive this epic Darwinian struggle? Kruger National Park, South Africa. A group of enthusiastic tourists takes in the sights.
We decided to go to Africa because my wife and I have the philosophy of going on a once-in-a-lifetime vacation once a year.
Jason Schlossberg is a mild-mannered attorney on vacation with his wife.
And safari was something we always wanted to do.
David and Cheryl Budzinski are also on the trip.
My first trip to Africa, yes, and I was quite nervous to go because I didn't know what to expect.
Africa, you realize when you're there, is the cradle of civilization. You can kind of feel it. The air is different. The air quality is different. The lighting's different.
I'm thinking, well, here we go. This could be a real wild ride for us.
Look at the little one. That's so cute.
Jason is ready to call it a day.
Usually on safari, you don't really see much, and we didn't expect any action.
Then a quiet watering hole appears out of nowhere.
Our guide said, let's stop at this watering hole because he heard that there were some lions there.
It wasn't until our last hour on safari, our final last day, our last hour, the sun was setting, and at that watering hole is where we saw the pride of lions on one edge and the buffaloes on the other.
Soaking up the last rays of a hot day, the tourists grow weary.
And we waited a full hour before the buffalo started to make its way around the watering hole.
There were a group of young lions to one side, and then across, around on the other side, were Cape buffalo.
I thought to myself, oh my gosh, I better have the camera on. This could be very interesting. 3 of the buffaloes started to walk towards the lions.
The tourists tense up as they see the inevitable confrontation forming on the far side of the water.
As the herd was coming around, there seemed to be 3 leaders of the pack. It seemed like it was a mommy, a daddy, and a baby buffalo. And they were upwind, so they did not smell the lions. They couldn't see them in the grass, and so they kept on going.
He's enjoying himself, and he has his nose in the air, but he wasn't smelling the lions.
But the lions catch the musky scent of dinner. Their thick, muscled legs tighten.
They're crouching.
She's quite big.
The big cats are perfectly camouflaged.
And he's looking like he doesn't have a care in the world.
That is a huge buffalo.
That's a huge buffalo.
The lead buffalo, also called a bull, is a male, one of the largest and strongest in the herd. He's strolling along when suddenly his survival instinct kicks in.
Finally, the lead big buffalo understands that there's danger. He turns on a dime and starts running back.
The herd catches on and starts a stampede. Witnesses say the noise is deafening.
I saw a lion come into view to the right, past the other lions up, past the lead big buffalo.
The hunt is on. In a battle for survival, the lions always go for the weakest. Then the lioness, reaching speeds of up to 50 miles an hour, makes her move.
Jumped on the baby, dragged it into the water.
She's going for him, she's going for him. She got him. Oh, she did, she got him.
Did you see that? Oh my God, it's unbelievable.
And you could hear the baby screaming. I mean, you really could.
They went spiraling into the air and into the watering hole.
They're trying to drag him out. They're dragging him out.
In seconds, with an extraordinary leap, the lion snags the baby buffalo and flings him into the water like a rag doll.
Just then, I saw a splash. Then the other 4 lions came and just sort of surrounded this poor little hapless buffalo that was, you could hear it cry almost when it got hit. It was sort of going, "Rah!" You know, you could tell high-pitched that it was making a funny sound.
The other lions gathered around and decided to try to pull it out of the watering hole. Some of them were chomping on the baby buffalo's mouth to try to suffocate it. Others were trying to drag it out of the water. It seemed like almost a free-for-all.
But the lions are just one of the baby's problems. There's a risk of drowning for the buffalo, and in a flash, Another mortal threat surfaces.
There's a crocodile there too.
And I saw this huge crocodile grab a hold of the baby's rear leg and try to drag it into the water.
The crocodile.
Through the bananas, the croc's trying to grab the baby.
Yes.
A 15-foot-long crocodile, armed with more than 60 teeth and powerful neck muscles, enters the melee.
Look at this. The crocodile's taking that baby away.
Comes around, opens his huge jaws, and snaps the baby buffalo around the torso. Tries to pull him back into the water. And what happens is probably the greatest tug of war I have ever seen.
Crocodiles are some of the most opportunistic predators on the planet. They take what they can when they can. But the lions aren't about to give in so easily. For the next 30 seconds, the pride of lions wrestles the lord of the water in a bloody tug of buffalo.
He has 2 attempts to try to grab the baby. He's going to wrestle the prey away from the lions. So on try number 3, he has hold of the baby's leg. And he begins to pull, and this is where a lot of people get upset with the film.
The group of tourists watches in amazement, not knowing the outcome, fearing the worst.
They're gonna lose it.
Oh my God.
Oh, they're gonna fight over it.
Oh my God.
In a split second, one side relents.
Eventually, the crocodile gave up.
Noticing that there were a number of lions and probably noticing that he was exposed to these lions, the crocodile decided to leap back into the water. And the lions once again gained their prey back.
The pride of lions is too much for the poacher. The cats pull the helpless baby buffalo up the embankment and get to work.
The lions have won.
Everybody thought, well, it's over. The lions have won. The baby's dead.
But is it all over for the baby? It seems the tourists and the lions have underestimated one angry and determined herd of buffalo.
Yes. Can you believe this?
Coming up, the Cape buffalo make a last stand to save their calf.
Yeah, look at all those buffalo coming.
They come running in to save the baby.
The cavalry.
Will the littlest buffalo live to graze another day?
They're gonna come and try and chase the lion, but I think they're too late.
He's kicking at him, look. He's kicking at him.
The final act in one of the greatest wild animal dramas ever caught on camera, when survival of the fittest continues. A pride of lions maul a baby Cape buffalo.
Grab the baby. Watch.
But the natural order's turned upside down when the herd turns angry. In a rare glimpse into the heart of Africa, tourists witness an extraordinary battle of prey versus predator, buffalo versus lion. 5 lions take on a herd of Cape buffalo. The lions focus their ferocious energy on the smallest, a baby.
She got him.
The ruthless attack lands the tangle of animals in a watering hole. Lurking there, a crocodile hears opportunity knocking.
There's a crocodile there too.
There's a crocodile. Look, a crocodile. Look.
For more than a minute, the croc and the lion fight for the spoils. But the lions temporarily win this bloody battle, while a group of tourists watching in amazement.
Everybody thought, well, it's over. The lions have won. The baby's dead.
When all seems lost, a storm gathers in the background.
I think you're right.
At this point, the herd came back.
Yeah, but look at all those buffalo coming.
They come running in to save the baby.
The cavalry.
They're too late.
Miraculously, the herd's deep down instincts for survival kick in. The herd charges in unison in a breathtaking show of force and determination.
No, they're gonna come and try and chase the lion, but I think they're too late.
I think you're right.
They're way too late now.
But is it too late? The tourists witness the sight of a herd of buffalo, blitzing the crouched lions. Some unspoken pact seems to propel the buffalo to the rescue.
I don't know how they communicated. I have no idea how they all mustered the courage to go together, but there was something that was going on, something beyond our ears.
Ooh, they got him surrounded.
The lions hunker down, a last stand to protect their dinner and stave off tons of stampeding rage.
And the lions were trapped. The water in the back the buffalo in the front.
The big buffalo is spearheading the attack.
It seemed like it was the daddy buffalo.
After a brief retreat, the male buffalo leads the counterattack. The 2,000-pound animal will not relent.
He kicks the first lion.
Whoa! He swatted at him and kicked at him.
Lion and Cape buffalo truly do hate one another.
He's kicking at him, look. He's kicking at him.
The bull uses his best weapon. With massive horns, the buffalo flings the ferocious lion into the air.
We think it was the same buffalo, got another lion, hooked it with its horns, threw it up in the air.
By now, the lions know that they are outnumbered.
Pandemonium. The tourists watch in amazement as the herd tries to save the baby.
They were chasing lions one way, chasing lions the other.
A few hardy souls remain with their catch, refusing to budge. Food is sometimes hard to come by here on the plains, but the sheer size, weight, and aggressiveness of the buffalo convinces the lions that no meal, no matter how hotly contested, is worth a good old-fashioned trampling.
And there were maybe like only 2 or 3 lions left on top of the baby that we thought was probably dead by then.
The lions scamper off in search of easier game. Then, after almost 9 minutes, after a mad chase, a powerful pounce, followed by a tumble in the water. After a crocodile joins the action, after a bestial tug of war, and in the midst of almost certain death, a simple, heart-lifting miracle.
Yeah, but look at all those buffalo coming.
And then it stood up.
The calf's still alive.
It is?
Yeah, it's trying to get away. It's standing up.
It is. It's still alive. It's standing up. It's standing up.
It's run away.
No, it's got
He's
us back.
gone.
It's got it back.
They've got him back. They do have him back.
Hierdie buffels het die leeu's weggevat van
The tourists let out a collective sigh of relief as the wobbly calf rejoins mom and dad. The calf faces the abyss and lives another day.
It stood straight up, walked back into the herd like nothing had happened. It was just a miracle.
When we saw that baby get up, we were astounded.
These 2 lions were left there looking around going, what are we going to do next?
They're lions. They got egos. They got pride. It's the most amazing thing I've ever seen.
I've never seen him.
And then they charged him again and they chased him off into the woods.
Gee, they chased him away.
At the very end, all we saw was just this big herd of buffalo. No lions. They were gone.
No one's certain about the fate of baby buffalo, but you imagine the best possible outcome.
They think the baby lived. I know it doesn't seem possible, but he looked like he was fine.
Another interesting phenomenon has risen from this remarkable video.
The co-founder of YouTube has remarked that this is his favorite video of all time.
Millions upon millions of internet users have experienced the misery of defeat and the exhilarating thrill of victory.
I can't believe there's over 40 million views on this. Being able to share this so other people can see it, I think that's a fantastic thing.
She's going for him. She's going for him. She's going for him. She got him.
Look at this.
You're too late.
The bizarre spectacle has been seen by more people than almost anything on the web. Thanks to one man with a camera, the world can now enjoy one of the shortest, feel-good movies of the decade.
This, to me, is almost like a Disney movie because something bad happens in the beginning.
She's going for him. She got him.
There's a struggle. Ooh! And then at the end, the good guys win.
I've never seen anything like this.
Really? You've never seen anything?
Never seen anything like this.
I think that's why it's so popular.
Coming up,